So we're looking at all of the wingers in FC24 and determining which ones should you go for. Now, let me know down below what formation you go for. Do you have a left wing and right wing? Do you play a free back with a left wing, left mid, right mid? Or do you just play with cams? And at this point, you probably don't need to see this. But we carry on and we've got a lot of players to go through. Starting off with a few of the oldies but goldies. We've got the likes of Georgie Best. We've got Ribery, Elwaran, Ginola. Ginola I actually see a little bit still. And mainly probably because of an evolution. And I never know which version it is, to be honest, nowadays. But most definitely still there in some ways. Now, we have got a lot of absolute top end when we look at some of the incredible prices that we've got. There is the likes of Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Neymar. You've obviously got Henry who can play left wing. You've got Saka at 2.1, Leao at 1.95. There is some huge names on the list. And they have got multiple versions, so that is always to be considered. So first on the list, we're going to go with Ribery. Now, little bit of a, almost, not necessarily an issue, but they really just didn't give him anything, to be honest. And it's a shame because he has the potential. We saw the base version at 88 rated and thought, you know what, that could be a relatively good card. Now, you can evolve him into a 95. I must admit, I did it. Not necessarily the greatest playstyles. I think you didn't have to be a genius to work that out. We do have the 92 as well that was an SBC way back in the day. And he starts off with a 5.5. It's good pace, good shooting, good passing, dribbling's up there. But he just never really took off. Now, I am hoping he is on the first name of the sheet for the footies because I believe we're not getting any more greats of the games. That is pretty much done, buried and everything. So it means now we are looking for the next upgrade. We've already been told we're getting footies icons. I don't think we needed to be, again, a genius to figure that one out. It's one of the big ones at the end of the game. 99s, 98s, 97s, everywhere. Transfers, end of eras. I cannot wait to finish it off. And hopefully they do bring back some of the cover stars. But I can imagine that was just kind of like that one-off promo. The only thing we are missing because of the Euros at the end of this game that I don't think will happen unless they include it within footies is shapeshifters. At the end of the game when you've got a 97 Trent at centre mid, same with Acuna, same with Atal. Yeah, Atal. Incredible centre mids, they just work. So it's the only thing that I'm kind of gutted with, and obviously Czech from last year was incredible. Now when it comes to Ribery, I'd be looking, to be honest, at a lower category. Now, we will kind of move these as we go forward because it's very hard to gauge off one straight away. But when we get kind of a list going together, like we know Ronaldinho and Rivaldo are obviously up there. If you've used any of them, I would recommend, obviously, if you've not got the coins for them, to be honest, that's not a problem. They're like 11, 12 mil a piece. I know Rivaldo's like, what, 5.5 mil. Go and try them in draft. Give a go. Genuinely, how good these cards are insane. Genuinely insane. Ronaldinho has multiple versions. We also do have, to be honest, I didn't even add it in. Maybe that's something next year we'll go with. The only problem with the evolutions is there's always like, say, a random choice. So say if I went with, say we go with Ronaldo, for instance, just as the gold card, especially at this point in the game, it was to look at this 86. There's two other versions here that can get an upgrade. We then have another upgrade here for him. We also then have another upgrade, even though they are necessarily the same. They might have different stats. Including every evolution is crazy. So I will think of something along them lines because evolutions do become a big part, especially to start. But when we look at like the 96 version of him, it's not a bad card, to be fair. And now the reason why I'd only ever kind of bring him up is the fact that if you did do the SBC of his base, this was probably one of the only options from an SBC that I'd go for, other than maybe Yashin, or if you did get a Cruyff and you've kept him in your club, that is always another good option as well. But then also I don't like really going with too many evolutions because you can't get them if they're gone. So if I choose a random evolution from midway through the year, it's somehow managed to keep some sort of relevancy, then it's kind of a bit pointless because you can't even go do it anyway. So let me know your thoughts on evolutions in this. Maybe keeping the up-to-date ones and then just change them out. I'm here for the news and to know what you want to know because I don't see many people rocking them anyway. Normally we're seeing the top cards being used more so than anything. But I thought Ronaldinho is always a great shout. It's what I did to mine. Going from the 93, which I spent 1.8 mil worth of fodder as of now. Then you've obviously got the 94, you then got the 95 with a 5.4. You then got the 98 with a 5.4, which is a bit of a shame. I honestly thought that he more than likely would have seen that 5.5 upgrade. I do think when we look at the 95, he's more than likely up there as well. Whereas I think the 94 is slowly coming out, purely on the fact the one playstyle plus, at least the 95 had two. And even then, it's a very questionable two. Quick Step and also Trickster. You might as well only have one, but I like the upgrade. It's a slight upgrade, but it's enough to keep him in that top level. If you're looking for coins to improve your team, head over to lootbar.gg for the most reliable and also the best coins around. Also, they have incredible 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using JT11 to get 8% off coupon. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours. Absolutely guaranteed. Also, with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. We then have Georgie Best, Alwaran, and also Janola. Now, Best was obviously an SBC from a long time ago, and to be honest, I didn't even like him then, to be fair. He was very, very bog standard, in my opinion, for the cost that you paid. Like, he was over 1 million coins. I really expected a lot better. He was the first SBC with a double playstyle plus. I just needed a bit more from him. I didn't get it. Whereas Alwaran, we did have a nice 90 upgrade from him, which was spectacular for the price. Then we had the 93 with a rapid finesse shot. I think that's a great combination. Still very, very relevant today, but again could do with the upgrade. This is where the footies comes in. We also then have the Galazzo Hero on Janola, still at 400,000. Again, we would love to see the upgrade from him. I do think the 5.5 adds a little bit of extra sauce for him. I'd probably actually go further down and go with... I'll keep Ronaldinho there for the moment. I'm going to go Georgie Best with him in the B+. I'm going to go Janola and Alwaran into the A. The 5.5 does act as a very good... almost like a, what is it? It's like a deposit of him. Like it just helps him. I don't know the word. I had it in my head. I don't know where it's gone. It's like, it's a safety net almost for him, because the 5.5 still, even to this day, isn't on every single card. So it's a very nice thing to have. He's got the pace, shooting and dribbling and passing can all be chemistry boost. So he's pretty much up there anyway. It's all coming down to the playstyle pluses, which is a massive thing in the later part of the game, as we know. We then have the likes of Hansen. I think that goal is insane. Team of the year and team of the season was spectacular. I think they did really well with team of the season, especially if you do look at the team of the season now. Like, we're starting to get a few 98s. We're looking at 7 of them in total so far. But then the kind of high rated of the team of the year are still the second highest rated card you can get in the game. Now, it's not everybody, but Haaland, Mbappe, Hansen, Bonmati and Messi all at that top level is really, really nice to see. I know we didn't... Did we get... we got... Who did we get on our wing? Messi was a centre forward. I know we didn't get a left wing, but who did we get on our right wing? Because we got Mbappe, Haaland. Then we got Messi. Was it a free... in the middle? Where's T? Oh my god, when you go back into this, you realize how many promos they give us week after week. We didn't have anybody, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, so we obviously had Hansen on their side, but we didn't have any wingers whatsoever. That's what I mean. It's crazy to think there was no wingers, no Salah, obviously no Saka, but maybe in a shout if he does something at the Euros again. Who knows? We'll see, but that's an interesting debate. But I think they did really well with the team of the year, is the point that I was going for. Then we have the likes of Dembele. We have Neymar. I think them two are incredible from the team of the seasons. And to be fair, there is a very good variety of team of the season and all at different levels. The one thing that we've got at the moment is the pricing of cards is so low at the moment for the medium stock. Yes, when we look at Ronaldinho, when we look at Rivaldo, at this moment in time, they are through the roof. But give it a week or two, maybe like 3 weeks, because we got to get into August really before they start really giving us that upgrade packs. I think everybody remembers footies for the second half of it, where we actually get the 85 times 10. We get to grind it through consistently. We have all the good cards, and you forget that it actually starts with footies, where you've got to actually grind a little bit more. They maybe give us 3 a day, 10 a day, 5 a day, and then it goes unlimited. So we still got a little bit of time, but when we look at the pricing for everybody, you've got a solid amount for a decent price. Like, you come under the mil mark, we're looking kind of first page. You're then going into a lot of SBCs because their prices will never change. I think that's natural. Diaz, solid card. But then you come a bit further down. We look then around the 500k mark. You're looking at a Nunez SBC. Henry Thunderstruck's not a bad shout. You've obviously got Sterling's SBC as well, but we're seeing Salah. We're seeing a bit of Vinny. Werner's SBC was fantastic as well. Then you go a bit further. We're starting into the team of the seasons. You're looking at more SBCs, but a Salah team of the season at 465. It's a very usable card now. Like, yes, it may not be S+, but it's most definitely very, very usable still. I'd go with Salah for me, 1 under. I just don't think he's quite there in my opinion. He needs that upgrade to go further. He's got the finesse shot, which is nice. The technical is decent enough, but I'm a rapid fan if I'm being honest. The first touch is nice, but then when we look at the cards we've got in Saka, in Rafinha, in Garnacho, and Barcola especially, some huge upgrades there. So you've only got to be fair. I think Vinny still puts himself at the top. Again, that just goes down to purely what they've done to that card. He could play striker, so it's going to add a bit of value to him, but 1.55 mil is hard to beat out, to be honest. Now, if I was looking at the rest of the S pluses I'd go for, I think Saka has got to be up there in my opinion. I think Diaz, in hindsight with the upgrade, I think has got to be there. There's a huge chance he manages to go up. So we've got him at 894 at the moment for an SBC. That has finished now, unfortunately. But if you did take the gamble, they are now into the quarterfinals, which is just incredible in itself. But what it means for the SBC is they are 1 win away from getting him a Playstar Plus. He's already got the finesse, the rapid, and a press proven. If he could get a whipped pass potential, or maybe it depends, because I like the finesse. I don't need any more shooting types, so I don't want power shot, I don't want relentless. You could go a whipped pass, an incisive pass, or maybe even a pinged. I think that could work as well to round him out, plus another overall, sending him into the semi-finals, which then, if they manage to do that and go from the quarterfinals against Panama into the semi-finals, he would get a 5-star, and then obviously the final would be his final upgrade into a 98. There's a very, very good chance that he manages to get up there. At the minimum, we should be seeing a quadruple Playstar Plus with a 97. I know Panama have done bits, but Colombia looked decent enough to go through. Thinking that, I would go in the S plus with him. We then have the likes of Doku, easy one. Leao, easy one. I think them two are just incredible in themselves. Big upgrades on the cards. Now, unfortunately, Belgium have gone out to France. Portugal have now got France in the quarters. And Leao should receive his final upgrade into, I want to say, the 97. I'm pretty sure he's got his first upgrade as well if we go through. Footbin's always incredible. Unfortunately, like we saw with Doku, he didn't get any upgrades, which would have been nice because he literally was, what 2 appearances? So potentially the final, in fact, into and getting 2 goals into a 99 card. That'd have been very nice indeed. But with Leao, no, I'd say that's definitely not wrong. So he hasn't got the goals or assists yet. So he still potentially could get a lovely upgrade. If he turns it on against France, it could be an interesting one for him. Could we be seeing a 98? Regardless, I think he's up there. He's absolutely insane. When it comes to Figo, very bog standard, in my opinion. Very good upgrade for him, but nothing too crazy where I'm like, that is a must SBC. We got the rapid, nice, technical, decent enough. Trickster, pinged pass, decent, 5-4, 1.1 mil with 13 days to get him done. I mean, the card's a good upgrade on his stats. It's really good from the 90. But in terms of fodder prices, I wouldn't bother, to be honest with you. I really think it's just a bit more than anything. Garnacho, I think solid card. He most definitely was up there with the best of them, but now we're starting to really see the next level of stuff. he's slowly coming down a little bit. Like, he's a very good card. He's got the stats. He's got the playstyle plus, but he's still limited to what he can do. Same with Barcola, but Barcola has a big chance. If it was to go for the tracker for him, I think at this moment in time, he's sitting decent. But if they manage to go through with Barcola, really should like put these pages on so I can just skip to them straight away. But always, it's got to be at the bottom. If he manages to get the next win against Portugal, he will get a lovely playstyle plus, meaning he gets the final one, the fourth. Hopefully that's finesse shot. Then winning the quarterfinal, he'll go up to 96. If they do manage that, they're going against Spain or Germany. So it could be the end of the road, but it also could be where France need to be. They're most definitely not a team to overlook, to think that they're not going to beat a Spain or Germany. They've won it all. So there's a very big chance we see a 5-5 with him. If then they manage to win the final, we're looking then at what, a 97? Yeah, 97 overall with a 5-5 quadruple playstyle plus. That will be one of the best SBCs we've seen all year at 170,000 coins. Makes Figo look so expensive, and Barcola is incredible in himself as well. We then have some of the team of the season, so let's kind of just try and dump some people in. If I was going for a little bit of a quick round, I think we'd be looking here. Trying to not think about it too much. Malin would definitely be dropped. Who would go in the A+? Thinking more Di Maria now. We think Nani would go in there. I think Felix still puts up a shift. I'd still go there. Sancho would be kind of more in that B+, to be honest. Pulisic is definitely in that A+. I think Palmer. Now, for me, Palmer, before I hear the comments, I saw Palmer and I had to click off. Absolutely disgusting. For me, he's better as a cam. I like him as wing. I think he's decent enough, but he's a cam. I absolutely love him in that cam role. It just works. So that's my opinion. Go with what you will. Zaha, A. I would say Sane would be A+. Never really got on with St. Max, to be honest. I thought he was a decent card, but he definitely weren't incredible. Diane would probably go more there. Ooh, Jarzinho. He was a very good card when he came out, but I think in quick step technical, 5-4, he's got the stats. I mean, he's still going to be a big-time player. I feel like he's probably one of the ones left, whereas I think Garincha is slowly coming down. I do think I preferred Garincha over Georgie best, I must admit. Then we've got Mahrez. To be fair, I did like Mahrez. I thought he had a bit about him. Mallard would be coming back down. Kelly weren't terrible as well, same as Hemp. I thought them two were a very good pairing back in the time. Salma, I'd go there as well. Oh, she felt more of a cam, but she weren't awful. You know what, I can't put St. Max underneath them, unfortunately. Kudus would go there as well. Rodman was a bit disappointing, not going to lie. I expected so much more from her. Somerville would go into the A. Goncalves would go there. Or would he? No, to be fair, he wasn't as good as what he was in previous years. Del Castillo, Felipe Anderson. I mean, he could definitely put himself in the A+ still. Savio had that one button just pace going through. Coman has got to be up there with Sane. Leao's former versions got to be up in the S at the minimum. Same with Saka, same as Salo in that sort of kind of trio role. They were very good right wings, which I believe leaves us with the newer cards. These are kind of now the triple play style plus, the quadruples at times, 96s across the board. I think if I was looking at it, you've got the big comparison between the likes of Rafinha and also Rodrigo. I do think there's one clear winner there, and it mainly just comes to the fact one is free, one is not. We know full well the one that's not is going to be better. But as a free card, they really did us nicely. A Cruz or Gerrard, a Pushkas, a high-rated Depay, a Rafinha, a beautiful Bernardo Silva. I mean, I can't complain with that. It's kind of a bit of a shame that, unfortunately, Brazil just don't look it. They've got Uruguay in the quarterfinals. I wouldn't be surprised of an exit, to be honest. They've not clicked. They've not really gone anywhere with it. And I believe Vinny's not available for the Uruguay match. Neymar's obviously injured. It's a very weak Brazil team at the moment. So that's kind of the comparison. You got Rafinha, and then you've also got Rodrigo, who looks absolutely nuts. Both of them with a 99 pace, but you've obviously got the quadruple on Rodrigo. You got Rafinha with the triple, unfortunately, just yet. He needs one more, I think, 2 more wins, I want to say, before he gets the upgrade, because they've only won 1, I think. They drew the other 2, or drew and lost. I can't remember which way round it was. But Rodrigo obviously takes the top spot there for me. I don't think there's any questions. Where I do think, though, the free card nature of that Rafinha is brilliant if you are new. Nico Williams, in the tournament, in the game, incredible. Mudryk wasn't awful. I gave him a little bit of a go, and I thought I liked the FUT birthday. I thought it kind of just brought him up nicely, because we obviously got the lovely Showdown. We then got into the 91. I thought the 91 was a decent upgrade, but the 95 was good, but I needed some shooting from him. It was the only thing that was lacking. Got the pinged pass, which was nice. The flair is what it is. He has the rapid as well, which is great, but there's only so much you can do with it. Even if it was replacing the flair with a whipped pass, that just at least give him some outlet to be in. We obviously have then got Bergwijn, and also I don't even know how you pronounce his name. Is it Francesco? I can't see it from here. Francesco yeah, him, 95 rated Showdown. You obviously got Bergwijn with the draw as a 94. Again, not terrible cards. Unfortunately, they just don't have that same level. Like 127k, not awful, but unfortunately for him, is just not going to sit in that top category. Same with Bergwijn. Great player, great play style pluses, great stats, but in terms of body type, in terms of actually playing, they have to be on the low end for one of the newer cards in the game. I don't think there's many new cards below the A+, really, but they are at that level where you could go and get Team of the Seasons for dirt cheap and then give you that same level. Same with the likes of Gray. We've obviously got Weyer at there as well. I think Martinelli puts in an absolute shift, but for whatever reason, with Martinelli, he's just never had that break. He's never been the top dog. He got the 89 SBC. He then managed to get the 96. There's been an evolution that you could have put in him as well. He's just never been number 1, which is a bit unfortunate for him, because I think the card is absolutely lovely. But unfortunately, he's just missing out, whereas we've got some big cards up there already. Chiesa, another absolutely cracking one, but Italy didn't really advance very far, which was a bit of a shame, because he was just that one step away from his next upgrade, which is going to unfortunately really cost him. The possibility of what that card could have got to if Italy did manage to do something. They only got the... Did they only get 1 win? Of course they did. They finished 3rd, didn't they? So unfortunately, the 1 overall upgrade was nice. Then 2 away from the extra playstyle plus. Another 1 from the quarter-final if they managed to get through. It's just a bit of a step down for him. He has the lovely stats, but we was all anticipating that big upgrade from him. Kvaratskhelia, I must admit, Georgia did themselves proud. It was, I think, the first time they've ever reached the round of 16 or the quarters, because I don't know if we had the round of 16 before or whatever way we did it. The first time they've got through into the knockout stage as a country, and they did incredibly. They got given the worst hand possible. They could have been better off going against England, and they probably would have beat us. But Spain are on absolute form, and they got the goal. I must admit, Kvaratskhelia, the lads themselves did really, really well, but unfortunately there was no match to Spain. Spain are arguably winners at this point. If they can get past Germany and France, or Portugal, never write them off, which is an incredible task in itself. If they had our side, they'd be finals without a question. So it is unfortunate for them, but a great upgrade for Kvaratskhelia. I did think the Team of the Season moment just wasn't an upgrade for him. This is much better. This is what we wanted from him. Beasley, I thought he was a decent card. I think he's definitely up there. He's kind of one of them ones I thought was a nice addition to the heroes, especially because he came in the very first team, which was very little heroes. So he did all right for what he was kind of given. McManaman, though, dead. Absolutely dead. Probably the only one that I'd actually go into the A. He is absolutely awful. He's got the stats. That's fair enough, but everybody on this list has got the stats. You need something. The technical is okay. Relentless and first touch on the wing. I don't need that. And there's a reason why he's 39,000 coins already. So that kind of tells you all you need to know. Machis, even though he's very much a one-trick pony with that pace, still decent enough to get down the wing. The rapid, the whipped pass, he's got an outlet. Same with Endoy, been brilliant for Switzerland. Very, very talented lad. Again with the rapid and the flair and the finesse shot, which is always perfect. The nice cut in, but it's an interesting one to see where he potentially could go. There's a big match this Saturday against England versus them. Who's going to come out on top? Is it him or is it Saka? That's going to be the big question. And to be honest, I'd go with the rest of them more into that A+ than anything. They're all very, very cheap to get. Some of them not necessarily going to get any more upgrades, but they are at least up there. And we will see what this next Path to Glory team does, and then also what the Footies does. And we'll create another list with them. But apart from that, make sure you like and subscribe and let me know your wingers down below. Peace.